Hello, everyone. We made it back to another episode of Fartist Feature. Yes, and I'm here with the lovely Amanda. How do you say your last name? Is it Deibert?
It is Deibert. It is like you have murdered Ernie's life partner.
Perfect.
That makes now you'll remember Deibert.
Follow That Bird is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love that movie. Well, that's great. I'm excited to get to talk to you because you have been doing a lot of comics the last couple of years, and I am very excited to get into that and get to know you and hear more about that. Let's say a quick hello to people in chat. We have DJ Wise. What's up, DJ? How are you doing? Yes, Powerpuff Girls. Nice. That's right. And we have GT Comics. What's up, GT? All the way from New Mexico. We have Las Cruces. What is up, Las Cruces? JSS in the house. What's up? And what is up, Michael? How are you doing? Thank you guys for stopping by here. If you're here, you're just popping in here. We're talking to the lovely Amanda here, and we're going to go over lots of your comics because you have a couple coming out, and you're already working on several series. So this is pretty awesome.
I do have quite a few things coming out.
It's Monday for you. Kyle, where did you time travel to? I'd like to know because if it's Monday, I got a concert to go to. Oh, yikes. Yeah, I know. So we're going to make it all weird. I know. It's crazy weird. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
How are you? So those people that are just joining us, they might not know who you are. What is it that you do? I know you write.
Yes. I write a lot of things. I write a lot of comics. I do some TV writing as well, some animation stuff. And yeah, I write all the things is basically what I do.
All the things. Nice. What got you into writing? You're always into that kind of?
I mean, yeah, even as a little girl, I was always like writing stories, always doing stuff. And then I minored in screenwriting in college. I mean, it was always a part of who I was and what I've been into.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah, I myself, I did like art since a little kid, but I'm just now getting back into it. But the artsy, craftsy stuff, creative things, that's you need that as a child growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of shapes who you are today.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to me too how like a lot of people that I know, especially like in the little community that we have here, they either started out writing or they started out doing art at a young age, and then for whatever reason they stop it, and then we're all in our 40s now and they're all picking it back up, and it's amazing to see people, doing what they wanted to do originally in life, and I love that. It's very cool. Nice. I'm gonna drop a couple links. So I'm gonna drop the links to your website so that people have this and go find you all over the places because you have a cool website. There's a lot of stuff on there, a lot of cool information on there.
Thank you. I'm not a web design person, but I do what I can.
One thing that MySpace taught us was how to do basic coding.
Mm-hmm. Get our stuff going. I'm like, I can do the fundamentals. So, thank you to Squarespace, I guess.
So yeah, that's links to your website. And so what did you get into first? Was it doing the comics first, or did you get into just doing the screenwriting? Like, how did that go?
Well, screenwriting was first. And when I live in Los Angeles, and I first moved out here, I was an actor for a while. But I was always writing as well, like always acting and writing. And then I started writing more and more. I became a writer's assistant on a show on Hulu, and then got promoted up to writer, and then I kept writing on that. And then I started dating this cute comic book artist named Kat Staggs, who's now my wife, and we have a kid, so it went well. But I started dating her when I was in my 20s. And she was a comic book artist, and we started doing this weekly webcomic that was so I was doing comedy writing at the time, and then I started doing, they were like funny stories from my life, so autobiographical, ridiculous things. It was called Hot Mess. And she would illustrate them and I would write them, and we did that for about 2 years. We had one up every week. And I started submitting to some anthologies and like writing little by little. And then I was also doing like these funny, weird YouTube videos for this now defunct female comedy website. And I did one, I was orphaned when I was young. And I did one on Father's Day that was about dealing with like loss of parents, but it was a comedy video. So like slowly throughout the video, as I was talking about the grief without commenting on it at all, I was slowly turning into Batman like throughout the video. And apparently it started going around like the DC offices and people thought it was kind of funny. And then an editor reached out to me and was like, hey, I've read your webcomics and I've seen some of your anthology stuff. And this video was really funny. Would you like to write a Wonder Woman comic? And I was like, sure. Let's start with the most iconic female superhero of all time. What could go wrong? No pressure. I'm not going to freak out at all. It'll be fine. But it was fine, and they kept hiring me. And here I am.
That's good because you've done a lot of stuff. So you've done stuff for DC, you've done stuff for Marvel. Now you're doing stuff for Dynamite, and JSS just says, "Wait, you did the Darkwing Duck series? Yes, you were just on the Dynamite Darkwing Duck series.
I did write Darkwing Duck. It was very fun.
The covers on that alone were just so phenomenal, and I had Tad Stones on for when they had the omnibus on. He is probably the most adorable person I have ever got to chat with.
Isn't he a delight?
You could talk to him and just like every nerd thing from your childhood is just infused in his being, and he just loves what he does. It's so amazing. So that's fun. I really like that. Because you did the Darkwing Duck, and then you're on right here. Hold on, let me do this real quick. So this is one of the covers right here you have for the Powerpuff Girls for the Halloween special. I have that link below, and I'll be pasting it in a second, so you can go to Dynamite because there's some links in there. So all my art people in the audience, I know you like the Halloween links, and they have Halloween links. But yeah,
that cover is by Cat Staggs. That's my wife. She also did the interiors on this book. So
yes. Yeah. I love it. I love the homage to Halloween. I'm a huge horror buff myself, so that's fantastic. And Michael's also saying, yeah, Kat did a rad Darkwing cover. Nice.
She did do it. She did a bunch of Darkwing covers. They were very cool.
Isn't that cool? I love it. It's so awesome. So where can you get this one? Because I don't see this one on the Dynamite site. Do you know where to get that?
I mean, it will be. It comes out in October, so
okay.
It should be, local comic book stores, all the usual places, Dynamite, all the,
all the fun times,
all the usual fun places. It'll be out right before Halloween, which is really exciting. So I'm super stoked about it.
I love it, and I think it works so well with a Halloween themed book because it's one of the most classic cartoons that you just love, but you could throw it a lot of good, funny Halloween things in there. So what got the Powerpuff Girls and Darkwing Duck? Like, I love all the 90s cartoons are coming back right now. Were you big into the 90s cartoons?
Yeah. I mean, I did. I grew up with them, and so it was really exciting when I was asked to do Darkwing. I was like, sure, yeah, that'll be fun. And I have a 9-year-old daughter, so it's been fun to like share some of the old school, like I was like, let me introduce you to Darkwing Duck because I need to go rewatch all these so that I can figure out what I want to write, so it's been kind of fun to do that too.
That's really awesome. And so is your daughter getting into comics now too because of the everything that you and Kat have been doing?
Oh yes, and she writes her own. She and her best friend at school, they make their own comics together, and we actually just started I just started a comic book club at her elementary school with the school librarian. And so every Friday the kids come in during this thing called Lunch Bunch, which is like like an after lunch recess thing. And they come in and they're all working on their own comics. And they came in like so ready to go. They already knew their ideas. They already knew what they were working on. And it runs the gamut from like superhero stuff to one girl is working on a comic about crocheting. There's several comics about ghosts. There's stuff about like school, like some is very slice of life and some is very like, an apple versus a bug. Like it really is like everything you can think of. It's so much fun.
That is phenomenal. So I love when comic artists and creators do this because Jason Douglas, he's actually a school teacher here. He has comics out as well. He's another writer, but he will go down to Comics Wellspring with a bunch of other local artists, and they put on like the craft shops, like the workshops for kids to go and start learning how to make comics. And I love that. I think that's so cool that people are doing that because it's a way to spark more interest in future writers and artists. And A lot of people don't usually get that chance, or they don't know how to start. So I think that's phenomenal. I love that.
It's like my favorite thing I do. Honestly, it's so fun and inspiring to see the kids working on it, and they're so excited, and they don't have all the hangups that we as adults do, right? Like they just dive in, they're like, I'm ready to go. And they're just they're hopping in, they're drawing their panels, and then like watching them problem solve in real time and figure out what they're gonna do. I'm like, oh right, you can just have fun and be creative. So great.
I love that. And they probably have an astounding imagination because they're children. So they got to come up with some really creative things.
Yeah, it's great.
That's I love that. That is so adorable. So what were the books that you grew up? Did you grow up reading comics?
I did. I mean, I started out, my gateway drug was Archie comics, like at the grocery store with my mom, Archie, Betty and Veronica Digest. Like it was basically like if I behaved myself on an outing, then I would get to buy a new one at the checkout. So that was my in. And then, and when I was in high school, one of my closest friends, her stepfather ran the local comic book store. So, which was great because then we could like stay after hours and read all the comics, in the store. Which is, as a teenager on a budget, is the ideal situation.
Yes. The Archie Digest was one of the very first comics that I ever got. Like I can remember how like, at the grocery store they'd have them out there, and you get them in the sticker books. I was huge into those sticker books. I don't know if it was just an '80s things, but you'd buy like the pack of cards and you have to put them in there to unlock whatever the panels were on there. I was huge into that, and cartoons big time got me really hooked on the the comics. But man, back in the day. I miss sitting on the floor just digging through, because we were like 20 for $1 back then because they were so cheap. But you just find the really craziest stuff in there, and I love that. It was so much fun. But that's awesome. I love that. So you did the Darkwing Duck series. You did a couple things for DC. I love the Rocket and Groot series. That's so cute. It's so adorable.
I had such a good time with those. It's so much fun, and the newest one just came out. Actually this past week. So I'm just, and it was at it's at the Scholastic Book Fair, which I also just ran at my daughter's school. And so like, there's the like inner child of me of having books at the book fair. It's like, of all the places that I've had books, I think I'm the most excited about seeing my books in the book fair because it just makes my little kid just light up.
Scholastic Book Fair, shout out to the Scholastic Book Fair because they got kids reading from day one. Even if you just go in there, just looking and browsing books. That's how I got hooked on Goosebumps and Fear Street books way back in the day. That was the good stuff right there. No, I think that's awesome. And congrats on being a part of the Scholastic Book Fair. Nice.
That one was, I was like, oh, I've made it.
Nice. That's great. Let's see. What's JSS saying? That's so amazing. From your experience, do you like the Star Wars, Wonder Woman, Teen Titans, and Batman, Scooby-Doo? Which are the best in your opinion, but more important for kids these days? Oh, as a writer.
I mean, that's a hard... I love doing all of it. It's all really fun. And the kids, they're all into so many different things that it really depends, right? It's the kids, the Rocket and Groot seem to be really popular with the kids, but there's a little something for everything. Some kids are really into Star Wars. Some kids are really into like more random obscure, like it really runs the gamut. I feel lucky. I've gotten to work on a lot of IP that's really nostalgic for me and fun for me. A lot of the big things that we grew up with, I've gotten to do. So I feel really lucky, like doing Batman and Scooby-Doo and Star Wars and Darkwing and, all that kind of stuff. It's really fun.
I'm having so much fun seeing all of that come back into like nowadays, especially like even He-Man and She-Ra were some of my favorite things growing up. And I love seeing them come back and bring that series back on here and keep going with it. But that's my nerdiness. I love that.
I mean, I wrote on the show and it was a good time.
Oh, lovely. I love that. And let's see. JSS is so impressed with your parental participation. That's so great.
Yeah, I'm the PTA president. I might be over involved.
Nice.
I'm perpetually
Yeah.
exhausted. We'll put it that way.
And Anthony wants to know, what's your high school's name? I don't know if we want to give that out or not.
Yeah,
but
well, I'm probably not going to go through all my like coded bank question answers.
Yeah, because we can pass that one, but yeah, somewhere out there's a school.
Like, what's the last 4 digits of your social? Just wondering.
Yeah.
Mother's maiden name. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. But no, I love that. And have you ever, so the kids that you're doing the lunch hour type special thing on, have you reached out to like local printers to like take them out there, maybe to go see what that's all about? Because that would be fascinating, I think.
Not yet. We just started the club. But we are, I mean, like, here's the thing, like, we're like, for us, even DC Comics is local nice. for where we live. So like there's a world where maybe at some point I could try to figure out some sort of little field trip or cute thing, because we are in an area where luckily there's a lot around us. This is one of the perks of living in the LA area, is that lots of things are convenient. But yeah, they're having a great time. And even some of my, some of my editors from DC just came and like visited the book fair and bought some books for kids and stuff. So it's been kind of cool.
Adorable. I just that warms my heart. I love that. And Don coming with the sass. He was just about to ask your son's computer number, but that's a no-go. Yeah, that's a no-no.
I love this idea. Hey, she's just asking questions. Maybe she won't notice.
Just slip it in there. Just like, oh, oops, my bad. Yeah. Oh, okay. Jay says you're coming with some awesome questions. I love this. Okay, Amanda, your fave superhero / heroine, and what would you like to write if you haven't yet? Ooh, nice question.
These are great questions. I think if I have to go favorite of all time, it might be Wonder Woman, but that's really difficult because it's actually a pretty long list. Things I haven't written that I would like to: Storm from X-Men and Moon Girl, because my daughter is really Moon Girl obsessed. So I would love to do some Moon Girl. I've been really lucky. My list of things that I want to write and haven't keeps dwindling. Like for a long time, my answer was for Archie comics because that was my first, but I have my first Archie story coming out later this year. So I got to knock that one off my list, because for forever that's been my stock answer. But now it's not.
That's so cool. I love seeing when artists or writers get to do something that they grew up like watching or reading, and they get to finally be a part of that. That's awesome. I really, really like that. So congrats on that as well.
Thanks. I'm excited. I'm
getting some butt right now, and yeah, it's great. Let's see. PTT is apparently at Oktoberfest and has been having some drinks. What's the darkest thing you have ever written? Ooh.
So every year, Kat and I do a story for John Carpenter's Tales for a Halloween Night, which is a horror anthology. Some of those, well, all of them are very dark. Some of the years I've really made Kat draw some awful things. And then we also have a graphic novel for them as well, for Storm King Comics, that's horror, that's called Death Mask, and it's a detective serial killer situation. It is really very dark. I've got some very gruesomely creative kills in there that poor Kat had to do some really weird research for. And she executed it well. So that's stuff. So yeah, but that stuff is definitely like my darkest. Like I do a lot of kid stuff, but I also do some very, very adult stuff.
Oh, I like the mix. I like that. Sometimes you gotta branch out into different genre that you're not really comfortable with, and just kind of go from there. Because horror I've always been into horror, but it never occurred to me ever in the entirety that I've been doing art to, I don't know, draw horror stuff. And I was like, that's my calling. That's what I was meant to do. Now I'm drawing creepy, weird crap everywhere. It's
so fun. I love writing horror comics. It's one of my favorite things that I get to write. It's really fun.
Ooh, nice. There's been some really good ones. Especially, I'm really big into the horror anthologies as well. those, I don't know why, they just grabbed me because I was really big into like the Creep Show, Tales from the Dark Side stuff growing up. It just gives me that nostalgia when I kind of read that kind of stuff. So I love that stuff. And I'm also liking that the EC stuff has been coming back with Creep Show. That is fun. I like that. Let's bring on the more of the horror stuff. We need that more in our lives. Let's go. I want more, monsters, all that stuff. Let's go.
Love it.
It's a good times. That's a good question from Phil, because Archie's been around for a very long time. Is it hard to stay inside the Archie canon?
So the arc that I got to help write on, they grabbed a group of us and had each one of us write. It's I don't want to say too much because not much of it is out yet, but basically it's an Archie superhero arc. So they grabbed some people especially from superhero comic worlds, and each of us are writing, and it hasn't all been announced who's doing what, so I'm being careful, but each of us are writing from the perspective of a different character. So there's like one comics from Jughead's point of view, one comics from Archie's point of view, one's Betty's, one's Veronica's, et cetera, et cetera. And so this was specific enough that it was kind of helpful because, as you know, like Archie's been around for a long time, but we were doing such a specific kind of story that in a way having those parameters makes it a little bit easier because you know what you're doing going in. And then, I was able to pitch something from the character's perspective that I'm writing that I thought was really fun and really interesting to me. And then that, that made it easy to write because I was excited about the premise.
Ooh, I like that. That's cool. Because I also really like that Holly is actually coming back to doing the art for Archie. Because she started that, in the 90s? If you guys don't know, Holly Golightly, she's one married to Jim Ballant. Does Catwoman back in the day. And Tara Roach with the Black Rose. Did I say that right? I think I did. My Monster energy drink is kicking in, so. Perfect timing, yes. That's an interesting question. Have you ever scared yourself writing some dark stories or getting into that mindset?
I mean, yeah, sometimes that is the thing, right? Like sometimes you go to this dark place telling a dark story, and then I have to do something to kind of, I want to be in that mood when I'm writing it, right? I want to be in like the dark thing. But like sometimes, yeah, especially if I'm writing something that's really upsetting, the being scared I can handle more than like if it's something that like really disturbs me. And so then sometimes I do have to kind of do the whole like, now let's go find a light comedy to watch and kind of like reroute my brain and do something. This is where it's nice that I do like some funny kids content and then I do this dark heavy stuff because I can kind of go back and forth, and it's helpful to shake up my brain because then it's like, okay, now maybe I'm going to write some Teen Titans Go or do something that's a little like silly and get my head in a different space. Because yeah, sometimes stuff does stay with you and you end up thinking about it for longer than maybe you should late at night while you're staring at the ceiling, trying to go to sleep.
You don't sleep around here. This is a sleep-free zone. But I think that's a cool mix because you're doing the writings of all of those genres like really well. So it really works for you, but I think that's really, really good too. Like we were talking about earlier, like branching out into different genres because you don't really know like what you could actually create, and that's fun to see that happening. But yeah, I like that you're doing the horror, you're doing the other stuff, you're doing the more adult stuff, then you do the kid stuff. That's great. It's awesome.
Thank you. It's fun. It's fun to be all over the place. I know sometimes people are a little like, it's not so easy to pigeon, but I kind of like being all over the place and playing with different. We all have all these facets to our personality. We're none of us are just one thing, and so it's kind of fun to play with all the sides.
Yeah, I dig that so much. And let's see, JSS has also come back in here. Favorite horror experience as a kid: haunted house, Halloween, hayride, or like a supernatural experience? It is the season. 'Tis the season. Yeah.
So this is where I say that I did not turn out the way that I was raised. I was not allowed to celebrate Halloween. I was not allowed to listen to secular music. I was not allowed to watch He-Man because it had magic in it. So growing up as a kid, I wasn't allowed to do any of these things. And maybe that's why I've turned out This is the thing. If you ban your kids from all these things, there could be a possibility that they turn out to you move to Los Angeles, be a lesbian, and then work in all those industries. Like it might not go the way you intended. Or that's been true for me.
It happens. It happens. I went to Catholic school, and some of the girls did not stick to their. Let me tell you,
it does happen. So yeah, it was. I went to a Pentecostal private school in Central Florida. So yeah.
Yeah, and then you just really shaken Shelby to his core. He's probably got every single He-Man toy I've ever seen in my entire life in his room.
So I would sneak it, with my friends, or like sneak playing He-Man and She-Ra with my friends. And then, I grew up and I got to write on the reboot for Netflix. So it was really fun, and it's come full circle. And now I have the He-Man action figures from the show that I helped write on, all the stuff I wasn't allowed to have as a kid. So it works out.
Yes.
I'm okay.
It does work out. Yeah. Well, that's something too. Like, so because you weren't allowed to do those, you're kind of just discovering them now. Do you have more, you think, of appreciation for those things now that you're an adult and you can actually really grasp what's happening?
Yeah, I think probably. I think probably it gives me kind of a unique perspective on it. Because it was something that was a little bit forbidden fruit when I was a kid, but that I didn't have full access to. So I do have kind of a deep appreciation of it.
Yeah, I like that. And no, it gives you way more stuff to binge now.
Exactly. There's also that. Sometimes people are like, how have you never seen this? And I'm like, oh, weird childhood. Sorry.
Yeah. No, not the only person that I know that has gone through something like that. Like, there's a couple people I know that their parents have thrown away all their stuff because they were super religious and all kinds of stuff. But it happens. But as an adult, you can really figure stuff out and go watch what you want to watch on TV now.
Exactly.
It's a good question from Jay. Who is your favorite Archie character and why is it Jughead?
I do love Jughead a lot, but I am a Veronica gal. Since probably one of my earliest crushes, if I'm being honest with myself. But yeah, I am a Ronnie girl through and through.
Nice. I have always been Veronica. I don't know. There's something about her. She was sassy. I liked her. I liked the outfit she had. She was my favorite. Yep. I loved her. And I never understood the Veronica and the Betty, how they were always fighting over Archie, because I was like, this guy. Like, why are they fighting? Like maybe you both all the people they fight over? They're fighting over this guy. Like, what? I mean, but yeah, no, I loved all of their. I love the Betty and the Veronica series, I think, more than the ones that had the main focus of the Archie characters or like the weird off-brand characters. I love those. I loved, of course, Sabrina. So good in this.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
I love Sabrina. And Josie and the Pussycats. I love that cartoon. Yes, that was such a fun cartoon.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Don? Oh yeah, you were. Were you involved in the Teen Titan animation project where it brought in a bunch of the Teen Titan variations? Sorry, no, share the name of the episode.
I've only done Teen Titan Go comics, so I've done the comics based on the in the universe of the television series, but I haven't written on any of those animated shows.
Cool. Maybe in the future, you don't know.
I mean, I would love to. Look, call me. But
you hear that, people? Call Amanda. Yeah. Well, that's cool. That's also bringing back to like another thing that people were asking you earlier. Is there a property like a cartoon or a comic as well that you would want to either start your own or reboot it?
I mean, there are a few things I'd love to do myself, like some creator-owned things that I would love to do. And then, there's a lot of, the thing is that animated shows, cartoons, like everything that they're doing for, especially like the kids content now, is so good that there is a ton of stuff I would love to work on. It's fun. I watch so much with my daughter that I genuinely enjoy watching with her. Like, she's into the show, but I'm not sad when we're sitting there. Like when we were watching, when she was really into Gravity Falls, I was like, I'm not sad that I'm sitting here watching them this year. It's great.
some of those cartoons are amazing. And I've been a really huge fan of like, they're kind of children's, but kind of adult cartoons on Netflix. Disenchanted. I love Disenchanted. It's so much fun. That's a great show. I have so much fun with those. But yeah, I love the animated series, and I'm wearing Invader Zim. But yeah, I love all that stuff. It's such classic. And Phil, I was watching the game and I had to turn it off. So thank you for giving me the updated score. Go Lions. Let's go. JSS says you're amazing, and you are. It's perfectly great. And Halloween is Satan's holiday. Well,
believe me, I know.
Everyone celebrates something. Come on, let's go. Okay, hold on a second. What's up, Tate? Yes, Powerpuff Girls. We're gonna be getting to that in a minute as well, but let's see.
So not the Kevin Smith He-Man. There were two. There are two He-Man on Netflix at the same time. So confusing. Kevin Smith did one. Was awesome. We did the one that was the reboot for kids. So the Kevin Smith one is kind of for us, I would say. It's like the nostalgic version for OG fans. And then we did the other one that was more geared towards this generation of kids. So that's the one that I wrote on.
Very cool. I watched the first season of the Kevin Smith one, but I got so far behind on shows. Like, I haven't even watched all the Star Wars stuff. Like, I got to go back and rewatch a ton of stuff coming up. But yeah, I want to watch all the He-Man stuff because I have a feeling they're going to be bringing in some of the more of the She-Ra stuff on some of those, because that's my go-to. Hordak. Hordak is my guy. I love Hordak.
I really enjoyed the new She-Ra reboot. I watched that one with my daughter, and it was great.
Yeah, it's a good time. And yeah, so hope that answered your question, Michael. Listen, Shelby was here dropping links one day. I'm too lazy to untake it back. It's fine. Loves it. Oh, this is a very good question, because I usually ask this question too. Are you planning any appearances or signings, or signed books available to acquire? It's a good question.
That is a great question. I'm trying to think. I think all my appearances are done for the year. I think I've finished all the conventions. Oh wait, no. I have we're doing a signing with John Carpenter at Golden Apple Comics October 25th, whatever that Saturday is, right before Halloween. The tickets go on sale on October 12th because it's a limited ticketed event, because John Carpenter's there and the line gets crazy. We'll be signing Tales for Halloween Night. They're also going to have extra copies of the Powerpuff Girl Halloween comic. Kat will be there as well. So a bunch of people. So that I do have that coming up. So that's a very fun annual horror comic signing. But I think that's it for me this year. Kat will be at New York Comic Con, but I'm staying home. So yeah, I think that's the only thing I have coming up.
Okay, cool. And so I just linked in the chat the link to your Twitter post where you posted all the information for the Carpenter in-person signing. So yeah, it's October 12th, and pre-order October 12th, and event is October 26th. That's a cool event. John Carpenter, come on, that's awesome.
It's really fun. We do it every year. There's always like a line around the block, and people bring the most incredible things for him to sign. Like vintage subway posters, and or things that are like made to replicate props on the film. I mean, it's a really fun time. It's really fun.
I really love when you see those old school, like the 70s, 80s, even some of the 90s, where they still have the special effects, like the foam molds and everything. And there was the horror con that I went to. I had one of the guys that did all of the Dawn of the Dead things. And there was a student there that wanted to show off his build. This lady lugged a 6-foot-tall baby zombie full with eating chair to get this guy to go sign it. And she was lugging it around the whole con, and people were amazed because it was just this fantastic thing. And I am so incredibly, I love when I see that kind of stuff, because it makes me get in the mood to create something. And I love something that inspires somebody to make something, just be creative. And that was amazing to me. Like, through a crowded con, she lugged it. She brought her boyfriend to help her carry stuff. But that was amazing. Cool. I love that. But yeah, they got to do a lot of really cool, like the foam molds for, like, especially the thing, some other stuff. Really cool stuff. Let's see. And did I miss something? Wait, hold on.
It was a follow, but I wasn't involved with that. So
yeah, okay.
So I can't.
I was like, what? I didn't see that. Okay. In your opinion, Kevin did a good job. Okay. Some people really like that. Some people did not like that because it kind of angered the nostalgic. That's okay. You can like and hate whatever you want to, as long as you're watching it. I'm telling you.
That's the thing, it's everybody's gonna have their feelings about things.
Yes. 10/26 is a Saturday. Perfect. Thank you.
That's the one. I'll be at Golden Apple if anybody needs me.
There's going to be a couple people there, I have a feeling, because a couple people that's their actual LCS over in that area. And let's see, Don. Oh, that's a good question. Have you ever cosplayed at a convention? And what character would you cosplay if you wanted to? Ooh.
I have not, because usually I'm, I'm at my booth and I'm tabling and then I'm going and doing panels. So I don't really, our daughter does, she'll dress up. She likes to dress up as Moon Girl, and she has a really big inflatable red dinosaur. And she has this huge devil dinosaur, and that's her favorite cosplay. And she gets a lot of attention for that one. But I don't do that. I did have when our daughter was a baby, I was walking around with her and I happened to have this like scarf thing over me, and someone thought for a minute that I was cosplaying as Saga from Saga because the wrap that I had happened to look like. But I wasn't, and then I felt sad because he got so excited. And then I turned around and I was like, "I'm so sorry." No, not Saga, just actually holding my baby.
Nice. I like that. You don't know. You might eventually go to a con and be like, you know what? Today, this is the con that I want to dress up, because I don't know how some of those guys do it, because sometimes you've seen those furry suits and it's like 105 degrees and you're like, I don't know how you're trooping through this, because I've seen people pass out galore.
I know.
I don't know how they do it. They have to have internal fans or something, because there's no way I could not do that.
I love watching. I love seeing all the detail that goes into it. I absolutely adore cosplayers, and I love all the work and time and effort and craft that goes into it. I love watching, but I definitely, I don't have those costumer skills, but I love getting
hot glue gun goes a long way. A long way. 90s is old school, dude. When you hear that, you're like, no, that was just 10 years ago. But then you look back and you're like, that was 30 years ago. And you're like, holy crap, what happened?
It's a whole different century, whole different millennium. I hate to say it, but we are not the youths anymore, you guys.
Yeah. Yes. What even hits you harder in the gut of that is when people start calling it vintage, because vintage is 30 some years ago and the 90s. And you're like, no, 30 years ago was the 70s.
I had a friend who was talking to a high schooler, and she was like, yeah, my boyfriend really likes to collect vintage games from the 1990s. I was like, oh, I need to die now.
It's really bad when kids nowadays, like you talk to like 20 and younger kids, they're like, oh, the 1900s, and you're like, oh
yeah, like
no, what?
Yeah.
Don't say that. Get out of here with that. Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe. You're still my favorite bot of all time. Thank you for coming in here. You're fantastic. Yeah, face it, Shelby, you're old. Yeah, exactly. No, we will old shame you every day. No, we're all the same age. Hi, Ken. How are you? Ooh, nice.
Oh, that's
Iggy dressed as him. Dude, you need to post that. I would love to see that picture. You do some of the best comedic content I've ever seen. It's great. What's up, Kyle? How are you doing? And question. Oh, no, not question. Please share your thoughts on Saga.
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. I mean, my thoughts are I loved it. It's great.
I have not read that. I have a bunch of the issues, but I want to get them all together to read that. But I hear it's really good.
It's
didn't
gorgeous.
It just pick back up recently?
I believe so. It's gorgeous and it's beautiful and it's such good writing and such good art, and just
I love that. It's a good time.
We have a stuffed lion cat somewhere around here. Yeah, it's great.
Cat. That's not what. Let's go. Yeah. That's okay. It's okay. We wake up every day and we come on here and we're still talking about stuff from the 70s and 80s, and we're like, It keeps us young. Because look I'm telling you, most of the time people don't clock us for being 40 and old. Let me tell you, it keeps us young. Chalk it. Yeah. So hold on. Let me go to. I pull up the website for the Dynamite Comics so we can go through that and look at some of the covers because it is some of these covers, I love them. They're adorable.
No, they're so cute. It's a fun time. I'm excited about this book. I really am. It's been really fun to work on.
There we go. There's that. And let me come back over here so I can switch our view. We get smaller. There we go. Make that larger. But okay, so you could pre-order this right now because it's going to be shipping in October and on sale date is actually October 23rd. So just right in time for Halloween. Mm-hmm. Perfect. So is this a one shot or are you going to be doing a couple? Oh, it's 4. Oh, okay. So it's a new series, the 4th issue in this. Wait.
So this story is a one shot. So these 4 are going to be holiday specials. Kat and I are just doing the Halloween one. There's different creator team for all 4 of them. And yeah, so this is our Halloween special. They're a little bit longer, a little bit like a extra long single issue situation.
I like that. That's really cool. And I love these covers. These covers are so fantastic.
No, I think fun.
Look, you're getting a Halloween special blank right here. Mm-hmm. I know we have a lot of artists in chat and myself because I love picking these up because I'm having a lot of fun doing art again. But these are so much fun. I love these. These are so good.
They're great.
It's just I love how this looks like it was drawn with crayon.
It's cool. It's really cool.
That is really adorable. I love that. So can you give us a little bit of a summary of what happens in the actual story?
Absolutely. So the premise is that Buttercup is trying to enter a horror comic contest that's being put on by the local newspaper. So she's trying to write her own horror comic, and she and her sisters check into a hotel for her to get inspired so that she can work on this comic. And the issue's called The Sparkling. You can probably figure out where I drew some inspiration.
Sparkling.
So there's a few different moments of like comics within comics. So sometimes there's different art styles as Buttercup's trying to figure out what to do with the horror comic. And then there's the overarching story of the creepy stuff that's happening to them at the hotel while she's trying to write the horror comic. And we managed to cram in homages to a ton of different classic horror films. So you will have a good time trying to, not quite Easter eggs, I guess more like, I don't know, jack-o'-lanterns or something, but like there's a lot of, some stuff is just visual, some stuff's in the storyline, some stuff are in like puns and dialogue, but there's a lot, if you're paying attention, there's a lot of horror film references. So it's really fun.
Adore that. That sounds so cute. I want to pick this up big time because this is my kind of vibe. I love it. I love cartoon aspects. I love spooky stuff. It's so cute. I really like it. And I love this cover too. She's got the little plushie on her head. She's a little mermaid. Oh, come on. You got the pumpkin, the candy going. I love this door. This door is awesome. It's cute.
Yeah, it's great.
Very cool. I love that. Great. Yeah. I hope a lot of people in the chat pick up this blank just so that we can draw some spooky stuff because
I would love to see what people do with it.
I need to see that. Yeah. Oh, dude, if you pick up the blank and you draw stuff, tag her in it so we can see what's going on.
Please do.
Aggie says, I love your comics. I read so much of your work with my kids, and your ability to get all these voices right and make me laugh never fails. Oh, that's adorable.
Thank you. That makes my day.
No,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because the Rocket and Groot one are super adorable. And then you also did the DC Superhero Girls?
I have done a couple of DC Superhero Girls graphic novels, yeah.
Love it. And thank you so much, Pops. And yes, go Lions, we won. I'm so excited about that. Yes. Thank you very much. Yes, the Powerpuff Girls. That's what we're talking about right now. So this is it's actually on pre-order right now. You can actually order it through the website for Dynamite right there or find it at your local store. But I'll drop the link one more time if you guys want to go and check this out. But it looks like they will be having more covers, probably closer to the October or more exclusive type situations. Because the one here, wait, how do I get this? No. Let me stop the screen. Because the one right here is this one by Kat, and I really want this one because this is Halloween homage. Let's go. It's amazing. And I love the colors of that. It's very fall and spookiness. So Kat did a fantastic job. And I love that she keeps bringing her little plushie everywhere.
The plushie is pretty. Acties definitely appears quite a bit in the story. Not to give any spoilers. Big part of it.
The sparkling. Were you really inhabiting Buttercup's character on that one?
It was fun to write a comic about the frustration of writing a comic because Buttercup, with her short fuse, getting frustrated as she was dealing with writer's block was kind of fun.
Oh, cute. And yes, Jay, sketch covers. I did drop the link one more time. So this right here is the direct link to Dynamite where you can go and order all the covers that are shown. But look out in the future because I know there's going to be a couple other ones coming out, which very exciting. But yeah, the blank is cool. And it's black and orange and white. So Halloween, spooky season, definitely. And previously on Atomic Puppet. Hello, Anthony. Welcome back. Yes, the covers are super cute. I love that. And I love that. So you're going to do, so there's 4 in the series. They each cover a different holiday.
Yeah, those are 4 like one-off specials for holidays. And then there's also an ongoing Powerpuff series that's happening right now too.
Yeah, I'm glad that they pick it up. And Dynamite's been picking up a ton of IPs over the last couple of years. And I like to see what they're doing with them. And that's been exciting. Yes, it's very fun. And I'm very, very excited for this. But yeah, these are so cute. And this one right here is just spooky, adorable. I like that she's a vampire happening here.
So cute.
So cute. It's like so cute. Nice. It's very adorable. I like that a lot. So here, let me go back to our faces here because I can put this up at any time. But man, that was so cool. I like that. So what other projects you got coming up that you're allowed to talk about besides the Archie?
Okay, let's see. So that one's coming out. We've got another John Carpenter's Tales for Halloween Night coming out. I've got Archie. I've got a new Teen Titans Go graphic novel that's coming out in January. Teen Titans Go on TV, which is about them trying to become reality TV stars. So that's going to be a really fun one. I'm trying to think of what else I have coming out soon. Rocket and Groot just came out last week. I think those are the things coming out soon that I'm allowed to talk about.
Okay. We're going to have to keep looking out for you. We're going to have to follow you on all the places so we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I try to keep things coming out all the time.
Let's see. I did drop your Twitter earlier. This one is your Instagram, so you go follow on there. I don't know about you guys, but I am having the hardest time trying to follow people on Instagram. It won't let me. I know. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, it's been like a year and it's been troublesome. And what's up, Freaky? And Sugar, Spice, and Chemical X.
Absolutely.
Gotta have all that fun stuff. It's the way you make some some characters. But no, this is I've been having such a fun time chatting with you. It's been great. Let me think if I can think of some other questions off the top of my head.
I'll say in unrelated to comics, but in preschool animation news, season 2 of Hot Wheels Let's Race just dropped on Netflix, which I also wrote on. Speaking of more nostalgic IP from our youths. So
my brother was obsessed with Hot Wheels and Micro Machines and Turtles. That was his go-to growing up. And yes, that does sound pretty amazing. Yes.
Yeah, it's a fun book. It was really fun. I like writing Teen Titans Go stuff because they're so it's such a like open world because it's so random and kind of anything goes, and you can reference like anything and go anywhere and make it like as weird and wacky and off the wall as you want to, which is really fun because it's like, basically in every chapter of that, it's a different genre of reality show. So they keep trying to do different things. So it's like sometimes it's cooking shows and sometimes it's dating shows and sometimes it's home improvement shows and like all these different kinds of things. And so it gave me the opportunity to do some really weird stuff, which was fun.
Weird stuff. Let's go. And the dynamic between that group is interesting because they fit the reality TV world so well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I feel like even when you watched it back in the 90s when the Teen Titans Go series came out, it almost felt like you were watching like the reality stuff, like the Big Brother type situation. And that's just good times right there. Yeah. Yes. But yeah, I know. Yeah. You also have a kid that would probably really like all this stuff as well.
Oh yeah. We watch the show together a lot. And, and she reads my comics when they come out. It's so funny. It's so interesting. She loves to read comics. She likes, I think, other people's comics more than she likes mine most of the time, but it's also like, she's like, oh, I know, Mom. Yeah, you've been doing that. But she likes to pitch me ideas for the comics, right? Like she's in the Teen Titans Go book. There was like one of the visual gags was her, I'll spoil it because it was her joke. And I was like, yeah, that works. It was the baking show. And it was like, it's like one of those shows where, everything is cake and that turns into chaos. And so at one point she was like, so Robin should make a cake version of his staff and then use the wrong one accidentally. And I was like, sure. And so that made it into the book. And she's very proud of herself that she has a joke in the book. So
that's adorable. Way to go. She's gonna be writing books in no time.
Oh, yeah, she'll be like 16 and like, yeah, all right, here we go.
Hitting up all of the cons herself. Yeah. Let's
see. She already does. Because my wife is an artist, at some con, I guess it was like last year, she was like, I wanna like do commissions. I want to draw and like do art. And we're like, okay. So she set up this little like kid art section on our table and started like charging people, $5 for color and $3 for things for just a pencil. And then she ended up making like a pretty significant amount of money for a little kid. And then she was like, oh, I want to do this all the time. And so now she always sets up. And then when Darkwing came out, somebody brought one of the sketch covers, the blank sketch covers, and had her do a Darkwing cover. Oh. And then he got it CGC graded. So she has a graded Darkwing Duck cover that is hanging up on a Darkwing collector's wall. So
she's gonna have to get the artist thing for CGC now because she's gonna have so many covers been going to them.
Right. So she's a pretty fancy 9-year-old.
Fantastic. There's so we actually have a lot of guys in the chat that have daughters around like the 8 to 9-year-old range, and all of them are wanting to be artists. They're all like drawn and doing things. And I love that. I love seeing that. I think that's so freaking cute. That's so adorable. I love that.
I love it.
And this is a good question because Joe kind of came in like, do you research your projects and do you collect the comics? So do you read the comics? Do you get an idea of what's actually happening in the series? Because you did mention that for the Archie.
Yeah, so that's I like to try to read that. You can't keep up with everything because it's impossible.
No,
but, I try to read what I can. But yeah, anytime I'm jumping into like my first time in a new IP, like if it's something that I'm not coming up with, but anything, especially when it's the big established things.
Yeah,
I like to take a moment and read some stuff and or watch some stuff if it's also linked with like a show or a movie, and try to get, number one, to kind of like get into the headspace and the voice and the, because I always want to honor the character as it is and the things that fans love about it and like what's made it great. I'm not trying to make my mark as much as like do well within the world and the character that already exists and write the kind of story that I would want to see with that. So yeah, that's the first step, is always to go deeply into research, read things, watch things, kind of get my head into the voice and the space and the world. And then step away from it and start brainstorming story ideas and like what I want. Because obviously I don't want to do something that's already been done. But and part of the research is making sure if I have an idea, like, because when you get into things like Wonder Woman or Teen Titans Go, that's been around for, a bajillion episodes, and Archie, like all these things that have been around for such a long time, there's a lot that's been done.
Yeah.
So it's about, it's about getting in the voice, getting in the world, making sure you're not, retreading some old territory, and then being like, okay, what kind of story do I want to tell with these characters? What's interesting to me? Because you're not going to be able to, especially when you get into beloved characters that people have very strong opinions on, you're never going to be able to please everybody. So it's really about doing right by the character, and then doing what I think, to me, makes a good and interesting story, and then hoping that other people also like it.
Exactly. And it seems like you're doing a great job on that, because you have a lot of positive feedback that's in the chat right now from Eggy and from everybody that's been reading it. So kudos to you. It's great. I do have a question. Sure. So if you were to, who would be your dream artist to work with besides Kat, of course?
I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I'm so spoiled with, I work with a lot of artists, and a lot of them are amazing. Agnes did a gorgeous job on the Teen Titans book. I've gotten to work with a lot of incredible people. But it is like, working with Kat is kind of so special and great because, well, for one thing, we're always in the next room. We both work from home. So we have that very easy, like, hey, does this make sense? Is this what this meant? And like, so the collaboration is really, really easy. So that's always my favorite person to work with. But yeah, I mean, there's so many amazing and talented artists, and I'm constantly looking at things and going like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. And I feel, I don't know, I feel lucky all the time with everybody that I get to work with. So I don't even know how I would answer that question, because it's like, everybody, I want to work with everybody.
Bring it on. Let's go. Because I think it's really interesting too, like how you just said you bounce back off of Kat, and then you guys kind of like get inspired by ideas and figure out what to do. Because I think that's fun when you're collaborating with other artists or like other creators, like the amount of like just like creativity that you get just from talking to each other, and you come up with ideas that you never really would have thought of before. And I think that's awesome. And I love seeing that. I love seeing like people in my chat. There's a bunch of comic creators in the chat right now. I love seeing when they start talking in chat and then they go do a project together. I love that. That's just so amazing to me that people, that aspect of getting to know people. You never know when someone's going to come up with that. It's fun. Let's see. Dabuzo has a question. He's curious about the pitch timelines between you, Paulina, and Kelly Thompson. Was there any collab on the Powerpuff Girls?
Not for this one, because the one that Kat and I are working on is just a one-off holiday special, so we didn't have to line it up with anything else that was happening in the main series. For other things that might happen potentially, then sometimes you do have to, it just depends. Like, for instance, with Darkwing, when I was working on Darkwing and then they started the Negaduck art, we did have to start talking about, because there was something that I pitched that would have gone into the Negaverse, and they were like, oh, we can't do that right now because this is happening. And so those kinds of things, sometimes there is that crossover where you have to be careful when you're weaving several things. But for this, it was just do a Halloween, whatever you want. So
it's just a fun little thing. So eventually, if they want you back to do another one, you can do tie-ins too. I bet it will easily.
I hope so.
Let's see. What got you to writing the Powerpuff Girls?
So this story is actually pretty cute. So our daughter is Powerpuff Girls obsessed. It was her birthday party theme this last year. It is her backpack. It is her water bottle. It is what we are going to be for Halloween. It is what she writes all. So she's like, really very hardcore into Powerpuff Girls. My wife also has a Powerpuff Girls tattoo that she's had since before we were together, and we've been together for a long time. So one day we were walking our daughter home from school, and she was like, I'm out of Powerpuff Girl content. She's like, I've watched everything. I've read everything. This was before this recent new comic arc had started. She's like, I've watched everything. I've read everything. I don't have anything left, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose my love for it if I don't have anything new. And then she was like, so I need you and Mama to make more Powerpuff Girl comics so I have something to read. And I was like, oh, honey, that's not, I'm so sorry. I love that. That's not how this works. So then I'm giving her this crash course in IP, right? Of how like we don't own it. And so we can't just make a book about anything in the world because we don't own it. The company would have to hire us to do it. And like, you know, hopefully more stuff will come out and they're going to do some new cartoons in the future and whatever. And she was just kind of like, oh, I'm sad. And we got home. And that day, this all happened within like an hour timeline. It was so weird. That day we got home and then Kat happened to see on Twitter, they announced the new Powerpuff run was happening. And she was like, oh, this is great. Like you'll have something, you know, to read. And I was like, oh, and our kid was so excited. And it was the same editor that I had worked with on Darkwing. And so I tweeted at him and I was like, oh, we have a Powerpuff obsessed daughter who's going to be so excited to read these. This is great news. And we go to take her to her little like swim team practice. And so we take her there and we're at the pool and we got an email and it was our editor Nate. And he was like, hey, we're doing these one-off holiday specials. Do you want to make your daughter really, really excited? And both of you team up on one of them. Which holiday do you want to do? And so she got out of the pool. And this was literally like an hour and a half after I had just explained to her that this isn't how life works and we wouldn't be able to do it. And then I was like, okay, so do you want us to do a Powerpuff Christmas, a Powerpuff Halloween, or a Powerpuff like, summer theme? And she was like, Halloween. And that is the story of how we got on the Powerpuff Girls.
That is the most adorable thing I've ever heard, probably ever. And people are like, oh, he's going to cry. That is so freaking cute. Yes, that was amazing. And this is a good question. Who's dressing up as Mojo Jojo?
Honestly, we should convince a friend too, because amazingly, our daughter is blonde. I'm obviously brunette, and Kat is a redhead. So like we're ready. We're done. It's done.
It's already done. Yeah,
so we know who's who. But yeah, it was like one of those things where it's like, oh, we get to kind of be cool to our kid this one time before she gets older and everything stops being cool.
Sounds like this kid is going in the right direction of nerd / awesomeness / creativity. So keep it up. I'm for this. I'm all for this.
That's the hope.
And, yes, I love the Powerpuff Girls. I love the Powerpuff Girls. I loved anything that was on Cartoon Network at that time. Cow and Chicken. I was huge into Dexter's Laboratory. I loved all that stuff. I binged the crap out of all that stuff, and I love it. I've actually been going back and rewatching like the whole series from start to finish, because when you're watching stuff that's on syndication, you don't really usually miss, you kind of miss some episodes, but I love going back and binging that. So I've been doing that since COVID. We were on lockdown, just going back and rewatching everything. The Brack Show, let me tell you, it's probably one of my favorite things of all time, and we need way more Brack Show coming up here. And I'm for all the cartoons. Let's go. And second, I want to know, did you ever work on any Dexter's Lab or Pinky and the Brain?
No, I mean, I grew up watching them. I loved Pinky and the Brain. But no, I haven't done anything with any of those characters, but I would be delighted to.
Perfect time for all the stuff coming back right now. It's kind of this huge kick on 80s and 90s kind of like TV series and stuff with this resurgence of stuff, which let's go. We need lots more of it.
Yeah,
and that story warms his cynical hearts.
Mine
yeah, you're
too.
not wrong. Yes.
Mine too.
Well, there's 16 people on the YouTubes, and there's a total of 58 people watching from the Twitch and the Twitter people. So yes, that's okay. You can invite more people. That's fine. If you believe, you can do. This is true.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting convincing her that the world doesn't work in the way that she just says she wants something and then it just happens.
She is forever going to think that that's how it's going to go. She's going to be writing stories, be like, okay, I'm done. Let's do my story. But it kind of works out for her too, because then she can help you write and then, kind of inspire Kat to do some drawings. It's a perfect team going on.
She's given us feedback every step of the way. Believe me, it's been very cute.
Has there ever been every time when you drew or something? She's like, "No, it's not that character. No, we got to change this up."
She did. So she found some typos, and so she was reading the script with me, and she found a couple typos, and I fixed them. And then she was looking at Kat's art, and she caught in a panel. She was like, oh mama, this should be like this, and like realize that in the continuity of the story something should have looked differently, and Kat was like, oh my god, you're right. So at this point she gets editor credit on this, but she's so invested in it that she has legitimately given us both real editor feedback.
I love this kid. I love this kid. Your classes are paying off. This is fantastic. I love this. And what's up, Rodro? And yes, I love Dexter's Lab. It was great. And Dot is just coming back with a Nerf. Thank you very much for sticking it there on the Twitch. Thank you. It's so cute. I love all this stuff that's coming out. It's so good. Oh, what's up, Froggy? Yes. Isn't it so super cute? I love that. And Pops wasn't here at the time when you mentioned this, but what cartoon would you want to do that you haven't done yet?
I mean, gosh, so many things. If we're talking about like nostalgic from our youth, now I'm like, oh, Pinky and the Brain would be very fun. And I was very into the Animaniacs as a kid, just all of it. So I think that would be really fun to revisit. I mean, there's just so much good stuff now that I'm like, anything, everything. I feel greedy. I want it all.
I would welcome all of that. I really love the Tiny Toons, the Animaniacs. Now it's just like it was like the weirdo section of cartoons, and you're like, this is bizarre, and I like it, and I want to see more of it. And I was for all that WB cartoonage. It's great.
I mean, I think that's why like the Rocket and Groot stuff appeals to me, and the Teen Titans Go, because it has kind of those like out there vibes a little bit. It's a little bit different, but like still appeals to my off the wallness, I think.
Very cool. I like that. I dig all of this, and now I want to go read all your horror stuff that you have with the anthologies.
Very different vibe from the warm, feel good little kid Powerpuff stuff. A lot more gory. The Powerpuff stuff, while Halloween and spooky, isn't necessarily as gory as some of the horror stuff. Although there is in this Powerpuff because as I said, there's a few different art styles when Buttercup is trying to play with comics. There is a little moment where we play with some hyperrealism. And let me just say that it makes things a little bit terrifying when you see the girls done hyper-realistically but still the same body types and proportions and lots of fingers. And Mojo Jojo done hyper-realistically. So I'm just going to throw that out there. That Kat did an amazing job with that, and it is fun.
I'm going to highlight one other thing because Hudat. So Hudat has a daughter, Bonnie, who is 8-year-old, and she's getting really big into the comics and doing art. Hudat, we were talking to Amanda earlier, and she has a 9-year-old that's really into the comics as well, the writing and doing the art stuff. But I want to highlight this because you need to get some of these for Bonnie, because Bonnie would have a field day with this. So hold on, let me go in here real quick. Look at. There are some Powerpuff Girls Halloween Special blanks. Get her some of those. She can draw stuff because she does some really adorable art, and I want to see her continue to do adorable art. So we got to get that going.
I want to see that too. Seriously, anybody, adult or kid, if anybody does any of these sketch covers, please tag me because I love seeing what people do on the sketch covers.
Probably my favorite part is like you hand somebody a blank. It doesn't even have to be what's on the book, but I just love to see what someone does creatively on a sketch cover to me. And I love seeing one of my favorite things that I picked up over last weekend. I got a 007 James Bond cover blank. Ooh. And the artist put H in front of the 00 and turned the 7 to a K. And he did a Rufio as James Bond. And my favorite thing that I picked up sketch-wise in a long time, and I am just blown away how people can figure out how to like morph something like that.
That's so fun, and also something that I would have never in a million billion years thought to mash up. You know what I mean? Like there's no world where that would have ever popped into my head.
No, never. Nowhere ever would that have come to me to draw that, but it works so well because it just easily fits on there. It is worked off perfectly.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Afterlife with Archie and Archie versus Predator with what? There's been some really cool, interesting Riverdale / Archie books coming out, and I love seeing that. And Pops. There actually is one. I will link you later to Jonathan Hedrick's book, but he has a book that has to do with characters with disabilities that become superheroes, which I think is way more. People need more representation in a lot of this stuff, and you're right. There's not a lot. I think that's phenomenal. But yeah, I will link you after this, Pops, to that, because he just had a Kickstarter for the last issue, but I think it's still up right now. So I will link you to that, Pops. Yes. Hold on. Let me get back to over here. There's our lovely faces. She could get in.
Super fun.
I think they might be doing something with that. You want to know why I think that? Because 5 and Below has a whole bunch of the 90s cartoon merch right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why do you have 90s cartoon merch for Beetlejuice happening right now? Which is a little interesting to me. So maybe they might be coming back out with a new comic series.
That would be great. That would. I hope they are. It would be very smart.
I would love that, because DC has been doing a lot of the integration with Beetlejuice and a bunch of their series. So I think that would be amazing, but I don't know who has the rights for the 90s cartoon series, but whoever does, you could make a killing right now coming out with some Beetlejuice comics right now, especially with the blanks, because people want that. They love that. It's phenomenal. Hold on, I'm stuck to my chair. Let me. Okay. Oh, yes, Joe. I'm not sure if you were here with this, but are there any Easter eggs or hidden secret jokes that you have put in a story?
So there's a ton in this Powerpuff Girls comic. There's just, it is full of horror film references and Easter eggs, like tons and tons of them. But in general, yeah, I do. Sometimes it's inside jokes. Sometimes it's things. When I was doing Star Wars comics, there's a Wookiee that I named after my daughter. It's just like the letters of her name kind of scrambled. So there's, because she's kind of the hero of the arc, this little Wookiee girl that then grows up to be a grown-up Wookiee. So yeah, my kid's a Wookiee now. And yeah, I sometimes throw in little things that are, sometimes it's just to amuse me. Sometimes it's to make a friend laugh. But a lot of times it'll be like a fun pop culture reference or inside joke that I think that people reading it will appreciate if they get it, and it'll still work in the story if they don't. I do a lot of that kind of stuff, but especially in this Powerpuff comic, Kat and I threw a lot of horror film references in it.
Let's go. I'm very excited for that, especially the cover that I seen that Kat did for the Halloween one, which let me go back over here, which is, hold on. So this one right here, it's not listed on the Dynamite website, but I have to pick this up.
So this is actually the first panel. This is a splash page.
Oh, okay. Well, even better, because that's dope as hell. I love that. But let's go, people. Yeah. So look for that. And Kyle's actually working on one too, Pops. Maybe you and Pops can get together and write some good stuff happening with that. Get on that, guys. Besides Professor X, yeah. Not too many of the mainstream ones that I know of, but there are a few. But yeah, definitely link you and Kyle. The one that Jonathan Hedrick has done, which is actually pretty cool, dude. I dance on Out of Here every single episode. If you come back for karaoke night too, we might have some weird dance stuff happening. Come on. Yeah. I'll link it to you after this. I believe it's still up for late pledges right now. And thank you so much to JSS for hopping in here and giving us a super chat. Thank you so much. And thank you for all your questions. You've been awesome in here.
Yeah, these are good questions. Really good questions.
Whoa. Hold on. I didn't even know this was a thing. The IDW Edward Scissorhands series was nice back in the day. I have to look this up now. I didn't even know that was a thing.
They should bring that back.
Oh, come on. All the Tim Burton stuff that's coming out, I would love to see some continuations of that. He has just some phenomenal, super created worlds and awesome just character backgrounds that works well for comic form. I would love to see that. And actually animated series as well, which are really cool.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no, for sure we have.
He has now summoned and coming back into our realm right now, which honestly, I have thought about that as a child many times to summon the Beetlejuice, because I wanted nothing more than to go to that weird, creepy underworld and just meet all of the characters in there. That's what I wanted to do. I was like, can I be the social worker for the undead? I would love to do that. That's what I would have loved to do as a kid. Yeah, I know it's happening. Also, I need to go see that movie. So hopefully sometime this week, I'm definitely going to do that. Yeah.
Fun time.
What's up, Matt? How are you doing? What? Pops. No. Go watch it again. I'm going to make you, we're going to do a movie night. I'm going to force you to watch Edward Scissorhands, and then you're going to appreciate it.
It's okay to have wrong opinions. It's okay to have
That's true. I know. A lot of you have wrong opinions, but I still love you dearly. You're still in my chat, so fine. Oh, you wanted to get party people in a can because of the cartoon. I love that. That's great. What's up, Rips? How are you doing? Yeah. Oh, dang. Okay, the hate is running deep right now. No, we're doing a movie night. We're watching Edward Scissorhands. So
you're wrong.
All you guys. That's right, Jay. Watch out, Pops. He's gonna come for you. Y'all sassy. I know. Yeah, it's terrible. I just think that he gets it when it comes to like visuals, and I love that he sticks to this is Tim Burton. I love that he sticks to the special effects and doesn't heavily rely on the CGI, because to me, when you go the CGI route, it kind of takes you out of that fantasy. 70s and 80s had it right. Listen, you put sparkles on some rocks, foam monsters, let's go. That is the best. Yeah, I am all for that. I will watch any of them. Let's go. We're doing Scissorhands. Let's go. Yeah, it does have a great soundtrack. All of his movies have great soundtracks. No, not true. I love it for all of it. Edward Scissorhands is probably the most wackadoodle movies I've ever seen, and I love that part of it more than anything. And it's just interesting. That's here to be.
I think we've summoned him at least twice, maybe 3 times.
Yeah. He's twinning somewhere in my house and then Amanda's house at this point. We don't know what's going to happen.
You're going to just see like a blur of black and white behind me any second.
This is also true. Winona Ryder of that movie was phenomenal. I loved her. And Diane Weiss, is that her name? The mom. I love her. I love her to death. She's so amazing.
Perfect casting in that role. Perfect casting.
Oh, it's breaking my heart, guys. Oh my gosh. Yes. Addams Family. You're gonna get in with the Addams Family. I love his version of the Addams Family. That's right, Joe. Team Edward Scissorhands. Let's go. Oh man. Heathers was a very weird, awesome movie. It was very dark, but it was great. Yes. Yeah. Heathers was amazing. Yeah. Okay, look at. Oh, Catherine O'Hara too. I love Catherine O'Hara. She's
in everything all the time. Yes,
everything, anything she's ever been in. I love her, and it blows my mind how old she was when she was the mom in.
Oh my gosh, I know.
Like what? No, it's not a thing. But yeah, no, I love her. She is so funny, and I really like that she's coming back to the Beetlejuice movie. And I heard that she has a way bigger part in the new one, but I have not seen it. But I am so intrigued to see where her goofy art style has gone.
She's great. It's a fun time.
Let's go. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah. The mom in a lot. Yes, dude. She was in a whole ton of movies, and she's another feisty little mom that I adore. And yeah, she was in all those. But yeah, she was good in the Lost Boys. Oh, you wanted it dark? You wanted the John Hughes films to be dark? I don't think that could have happened with a Hughes film. They're like the most upbeat, like pop, like 80s things I've ever seen. They're great. Well, I know.
They handle that in a really funny way, though. Their workaround for that is pretty great. They get some ridiculous, funny digs in about it.
Oh, I'm glad. It's fun, dude. Batman Returns is probably one of my favorite movies ever. I watch it all Christmas. It's fantastic. It's wackadoodle and amazing. I love that his movies kind of like feel like you're in a book or something when you're watching them, and I love that. It's fantastic. I know everyone's coming for some weird stuff right now. It's fantastic, and I love that. But yeah, we could have further discussions on what's amazing and what's not amazing, but also Pee-wee. I've seen every Pee-wee movie at the drive-in. The best. Also, this is a good question because Five and Below is interesting to me because I just spent a whole buttload of money at Five and Below. They have a whole bunch of Nightmare Before Christmas goodies that are out right now. And characters I've never seen before. So is there something brewing in a Nightmare Before Christmas style? Because I picked up Zero and then there's some metal figures, but they have a Pumpkin King that is not Jack. He's a full pumpkin outfit, pumpkin head, and it's not Jack, but they call him the Pumpkin King.
How interesting. Because I'm like, is that a knockoff or does that mean something else is coming along?
I know, but it's official Disney merch though. So here's one of the ornaments, but this is one of the ornaments, but I have him in another thing, but it's a Pumpkin King and he's got a pumpkin face. He is a totally different guy than Jack. So now I'm like, what is going on with this? I'm very intrigued by this. So now I gotta go back to Five and Below and buy way more merch to figure out what the heck is happening because I love that movie. That's amazing. Let's see.
That's awesome.
What's up, John? How are you doing? Okay. Pee-wee, look, Ed Wood is phenomenal. I love that black and whiteness. It's great. Oh, that's another good one. Probably because you said that you have some personal inside stuff in some of these things. Yeah.
I mean, probably. I'm sure that there are, like, occasionally. I don't do too much of that because really it's for, like, I don't really put anything into a book that's not, going to be for, like, the person that's reading the book to enjoy. So there might be something like, like occasionally there might be a character that I name because, like, okay, let's say if there's a character that does something really messed up and so, like, I would give it a name of a person I don't like because then that's funny to me. You know what I mean? Like, there could be, like, something like that. But for the most part, no. If I'm putting something in that's an Easter egg, it's meant to be, like, discovered or found. Other than, like I said, I named the Wookiee, for our daughter. Like, that was for me. But usually it's just kind of, it's there to be discovered.
I like that. That's cute. And Rips also saw that, right? So that's very intriguing. I'm not sure what this character is because I have the books. I've never seen this character in the books or the movie. So that is I wonder what's going on with that situation. I know. Oogie Boogie is one of the best characters ever, which is also fascinating too because they created that character for the movie. Because if you get the old OG one Tim Burton wrote, he's not in that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so there's a couple characters that they made specifically for the movie when that came out. But yeah, if you do see the book, pick it up because his art in that is phenomenal. It's so cool. I love that.
I bet.
Right. So it's interesting. The Pumpkin King guy is completely different, but you think he looks a bit like the Mervyn from Sandman. Okay. Yeah. I know. Oh, what's up, Some? Let's see what's going on here. And hello. Yes, welcome to the chat. Team Movie Before Christmas, but it's not a knockoff. It's actually from Disney merch from Nightmare Before Christmas. So that's way interesting. Maybe they're gonna do like a holiday special or something. I don't know.
Well, that's a good point. That could be.
Weird Science, also a phenomenal movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What? Wait. What?
Oh.
When did that come out? The Battle for the Pumpkin King, released in September 20. What?
Well,
oh my goodness!
Maybe
I am starring this comment so I can go hunt this down because I hope they come back and do some more stuff with that. What? And then Quebec they call the Hokey Pokey the Oogie Boogie. Really?
I mean, that's more fun than Hokey Pokey. I think I might be Team Quebec this.
That might be the only time I am Team Quebec. Because then you do the Oogie Boogie, you turn it all about.
Yeah, I'm into this. I think I fully love it.
I like this rebranding of the Hokey Pokey. Let's go. Do this. Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting because I've also heard about this as well. Because he says no prequel or sequel will be made, but then
it must be that graphic novel or something.
Yeah. Funko did one too. Okay, now I gotta go look all this stuff up because I am late to this train and I'm like confused now. But that would have been a cute Funko Pop. Okay, now my mind has been just completely like what? Blown away right now. Thank you. Yeah, it's amazing. We've been going for about an hour and a half, and I don't want to keep you too long because I know it's getting late and I got to get some food in me. So before we get out of here, I have all your links to everything down below, including the book for the Powerpuff Girls special. You are going to have here, I'm going to link this one more time. This is a link to your post right here. Actually, I could just show it. Hold on. Let me just show that. This is for your John Carpenter special. Hold on, wait, where am I at? I lost my thing. There we go. So many tabs. I can't find it. Okay. No. There we go. Okay. So this is your post right here that you're talking about how to find you for the Halloween night. So this is awesome.
So yeah, so come hang out with us if you're in the LA area. It'll be on October 26th at Golden Apple, which is an amazing comic book store. And the tickets go on sale on October 12th. So if you're in the area, come to that. That's the next thing that I'm doing any kind of signing at. It's always a really great time. And they will have the Powerpuff Girls. They're ordering a bunch of those extra. And then we'll have John Carpenter's Tales for Halloween Night, volume 10. That we'll be signing, and they have all the previous volumes there as well. So it's a great time. They have Death Mask too. It's super fun. John's there, Sandy King Carpenter's there, Kat will be there, I will be there, a bunch of other amazing writers that you can see and artists that you can see on your screen. So yeah, come hang out with us.
And here's a link one more time to this if you want to go check out that for even more information. And is there a way to get a hold of the horror books that you were doing? Like, what's the best way to do that?
Yeah, they're available everywhere. You know, your local comic book stores, your Barnes and Noble, Amazon, stormkingcomics.com also has them. It has all of the John Carpenter's Tales for Halloween Night. It also has Death Mask Volume 1. We are working on Volume 2 right now. Kat is literally in the next room drawing it as we speak. And yeah, so you can get those anywhere.
Very cool. Very cool. I will also put the link to those down below, as well as the link to this in here, so that people, when they're after this, because I get a lot of people who watch on the Rewind, go and find you. So hopefully you get a lot of people to show up at your event, because I know there's a bunch of horror people and also John Carpenter fans, but also in that area that go to the Golden Apple. So hopefully you guys get in there. Yeah, Kev might be there. I mean, I think Kev is probably be there. And also, this is interesting. Lego set, A Nightmare Before Christmas set, is set to be released in September of 24. So this month right now, the set will include 8 minifigures, 3 iconic locations, and dude, that sounds amazing.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
That sounds amazing. I love that. That's pretty freaking dope. And then check that out as well. That's coming on. You can still order it right now, and it's coming out in October. So at the end of October, it will be released into the stores. So I forgot where I'm at now. There we go. Here. There we go. We're even. You don't have to be so like, my head's giant. I know. It's a weird feeling. So thank you very much for coming on here. I had such a wonderful time chatting with you. You can come back anytime, promote your stuff. I also have another one that I do that's particularly for campaign promotions. So yeah, come back and hang with us. And it was lovely getting to know you. Yeah.
Thank you. It was awesome to be here. I had a great time. Thanks for having me.
You're so very welcome. And before I go, I want to shout out a couple things. October 4th through 6th is Comics Curing Cancer. We will have 3 days of auctions and raising money for that. They raised $55,000 last year, and we're trying to beat that goal this year. And if you guys that are in the chat would like to participate, my slot is midnight on the 6th. We'll be going from Saturday into Sunday, and we'll be auctioning off art from the people in the audience. So come and hang, get some art, meet some people. It'll be a great good time. I have that down below in my upcoming streams if anybody wants to go look for that. And other than that, we'll probably be back late night tonight doing a art stream, because we have to do a lot of prep for the art for that. So come and hang with us and, meet some cool people. So we're going to be doing that. And oh, wait, hold on. Plenty of copies of the Battle of the Pumpkin. Oh, perfect. I'm going to save that so we can go check that out after this, because I need to find that. That looks adorable. And thank you very much for hanging on all the way on the Twitch. But you wanted to watch this dance? I will dance on out of here, because I don't have an outro yet. So there you go. But yeah, we're going to get out of here. So thank you very much, Amanda. It's very lovely getting to know you. And yeah, we're going to dance, because you know what? I don't have an outro. So